name is Mark Curran. I'm a candidate for United States Senate in Illinois against Dick Durbin. Today we're here in Brooks Park in Chicago, roughly Touhy and Harlem. And behind me I have some friends of mine that are also running for office. I want to talk to you about why we're here and what's going on. These guys are all in law enforcement. The city of Chicago is ablaze. It is like never seen before. Squads are being tipped over, lit on fire. You have police officers being stomped on and trampled. You have businesses being burned down. And now the threats are that they're coming out to the suburbs. And they have come out to the suburbs, breaking into malls. There's threats that they'll be coming into people's homes and everything else. So it's totally out of control. And what it's all about is failed leadership. Failed leadership that is coddling to criminals. We understand the right to protest, but it's gone long and far beyond that. So criminals that are not being held accountable. An unprepared city, an unprepared governor, and we are going to talk to you about that and what needs to be done. I'm running against Dick Durbin, who gave a speech on the floor of the Senate yesterday condemning police officers across the country. Not what's needed right now. That thin blue line is what's separating the people in this neighborhood and neighborhoods all throughout Illinois from the criminals. First, I want to introduce Jeff Muehlfelder. Jeff is running for the Illinois House, 19th District. He's been a police officer in this area for 15 years. This area, I mean the Chicago suburbs. And Jeff is running, as I said, for the Illinois 19th. His brother is a police officer. His dad was a police officer. Jeff knows what he's talking about. Jeff, if you could come up here and tell us what needs to be done and what your thoughts are.
Hey everybody, my name is Jeff Muehlfelder. I'm a Republican candidate for House 19th District. I'm a Republican candidate for the 19th District House seat. Okay, and as a Chicago police officer, when I came on this job, we took an oath to uphold, protect, and defend the Constitution and the laws of the state and the city. And the very first law that's in the Bill of Rights is the ability to peaceably assemble. We have no problem with that, okay? Police officers have no problem. In fact, we exist to encourage and protect your rights. We've been entrusted with the authority and the responsibility to protect your freedom and safety. And we are not being allowed, we share that responsibility with elected officials who make policy and direct our resources. And their failure to properly make policy and direct our resources has handcuffed us and made everybody less safe. I cannot think of a time in my life when more people around me were more fearful in their own homes. And this is a travesty that goes against everything police officers stand for. And I'll give it to these guys.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you for running for office, stepping up to the plate, and helping in all your service on behalf of citizens throughout this area. Our next speaker is Anthony Beckman, also a good friend of mine. Anthony Beckman has been a police officer for 18 years in the area. His brother is also a police officer. Once again, comes from a long line of police officers. Like Jeff, has had all kinds of jobs, specialty units, detective work, what have you. And I want to ask Anthony Beckman, who's running for Illinois Senate 10th, also as a Republican, what needs to be done and what's not being done. Anthony.
First of all, I'd like to say thank you, Mark, and thank you for my other fellow individuals that are running for office. It's a tough time that we're experiencing right now. God bless everybody that's listening today. God bless everybody in the state of Illinois. Stay safe. God bless everybody throughout this country. Just stay safe. Listen to your local authorities that are instructing you what to do. And, I mean, if we do have stay-at-home orders, follow them. In times like this, in a real crisis, we actually have to be following the orders that is instructed of you. I've been a law enforcement officer for 18 years. I was a night SWAT officer for 8 years. I know what it's like dealing with riot control in a mobile field force type of setting. It's very difficult, and I commend all the officers that are actually doing that right now. My town that I'm in, we've actually done a very good job. We've allowed for free speech, but we haven't allowed for people to actually assemble in big groups. and give them the opportunity to ignite and cause these horrific riots. Like Mark and Jeff were explaining, we as law enforcement officers, we follow the Constitution. We believe in your First Amendment rights, freedom of speech, assembly. We actually are for peaceful protests. I mean, everybody deserves the right to express themselves. Like we're seeing right now, this is when our elected officials have to get involved. You know, we need our governor, we need our mayors, we need them to stand in line with police officers. We seen 3 weeks ago our governor and the mayor of Chicago speaking out against peaceful protests, people that were actually trying to get their lives together after a long stretch of the corona. We've seen people that were fighting to open businesses, people that just wanted to take their kids out to a ballpark, people that wanted their kids to go back to school. And we had these same governors and mayors demonizing these individuals, basically calling them criminals because they wanted their life back. They wanted their freedoms that were given to us. Now we're seeing a total 180 spin on their parts. We see a lot of the mainstream media condoning this instead of condemning this. We see them actually saying that these rioting is actually going to make the country better. No, it's not. What's going to make this country better in these cities and states is us coming together, law enforcement coming together with the citizens. I mean, we all know what that officer did was wrong. It was murder. George Floyd was a decent man, as I heard. You know what I mean? And nobody deserves that kind of treatment from rogue police officers. But let's get this straight. There's about 1% of rogue police officers in this country. 99% of us every day go to work to protect our communities, protect the property, protect the lives of the citizens that we're working for. So let's get away from the misconception that all police officers are bad. We're out there for, you know what I mean, to do the wrong things. That's not what it is. I mean, we want to be aligned with our communities. We want to protect our communities. And when a bad guy does something wrong, that is our job to take action. I like to say thank you for all of this. The thank you of the service of all the police officers. Stay safe, and just our elected officials have to get involved. They have to have our backs. They have to let police officers do their jobs and stop handcuffing us. Thank you very much, and God bless.
So our last speaker is Pat O'Brien. I've known Pat O'Brien for since the late 80s when I worked in Cook County State's Attorney's Office as an intern. He was the head of the criminal division back then. Pat O'Brien was a longtime judge. Like me, he has run as a Democrat before. And what Pat will tell you is that law enforcement is not a Democrat or a Republican issue. It's an issue that goes across party lines, goes across race lines and cultural lines. Pat O'Brien is also part of this law enforcement team that we're running together with Anthony Beckman and Jeff Muehlfelder. Pat, would you tell us what, and once again, Pat is running against Kim Foxx.
Mark, thank you. Good morning. Thank you, gentlemen. As Mark said, my name is Pat O'Brien. I'm running as a Republican for Cook County State's Attorney. I'm running against Kim Foxx. Now, you might not know that she's State's Attorney since for the last 2.5 months she's holed up in her house while shootings have gone up to historic proportions, and while the city has been the victim of 3 days of looting and rioting. The state's attorney enforces criminal law. When the police make arrests, the state's attorney's duty to both charge, to determine and recommend bonds, and then to prosecute. I'll tell you that under Kim Foxx, even in this time of rioting, the state's attorney's office under her has made this a revolving door. Persons are arrested for looting, for burglary, for battery to police officers who came into court on Saturday and Sunday and Monday were allowed to go free on signature bonds. So they were allowed to return to the very rioting that they were causing. She is absent. She has no business being state's attorney. I ask you respectfully to make sure that the city becomes and county becomes safer, and to vote for me as state's attorney. Gentlemen, thank you, and thank you for the opportunity.
I just want to say thank you, Pat. Thank you for running. We're so honored to have you running for state's attorney with your experience. And Jeff and Anthony, thank you also for running and the fact that you're out here. These guys are going to be out there tonight and continue to be out there. Pray for their safety. Pray for the safety of everybody in law enforcement. and we pray for America. Thank you and God bless.